I teach learners with interrupted formal education. I teach a Phase 1 literacy class, and my learners are just beginning to learn about how we formally learn things in school. So, portfolio is a good way to assess our learners, and I try to use a classroom portfolio in my class. A classroom portfolio is a group project that we all work toward, and it's helping the learners learn about self-assessment and about the purpose of portfolios. At the beginning of a theme unit, I put the title of the theme on the bulletin board, and we reflect on what we might learn in that theme. Perhaps the theme is springtime. And for this unit, we would develop some keywords, and I would post the keywords on the bulletin board in a word list, and we would go back to them each day and look at the words. We would also try to post some realia. In this particular unit, I posted chives. My students didn't know what chives were, and yet they had them in their gardens and in their yards. And we posted chives, we posted some actual garlic up there, and this is how we started our classroom portfolio or bulletin board. Each day at the end of the lesson we reflected on, I had the students reflect on what they had practiced or learned that day, and to just introduce the concept of self-reflection. Toward the end of the unit, I asked the learners to each select a piece of work that they felt proud of, something they had learned, something they did well. At first they didn't understand, but when I repeated it a lot of times and gave some examples, a couple of the ones with higher English produced a paper that they liked that they had done from their unit. They looked back on their work, and I asked why they liked it, and they might say something like, "Now I can read this," or "Now these are new words for me." And I wrote their I can statement at the bottom of the page. I showed the rest of the class, and after a few prompts, the students were each able to produce something that they were quite proud of and that they liked. I wrote I can statements on the bottom of each of their worksheets, and we posted these worksheets on the bulletin board. We then gathered around the bulletin board and looked at each person's work and read their I can statement. This made a very colorful bulletin board for our class. They really enjoyed it. As well, they were learning about self-reflection, and we went back to it a few more times. I took photos of this bulletin board, and what I'd like to do in the future is a step I actually haven't done, but what I plan to do is make a portfolio book. At the end of each theme, we will do a classroom portfolio and a bulletin board, and we'll take pictures and we'll make I can statements, and we'll develop it into a book, and we'll all look at the book together and think of the things that now what the learners can do.